The night was colder than usual, and the sound of rain against the old pickup's windshield was the only thing keeping Mark company on his lonely drive home. He had just finished his late shift at the mechanic shop, exhausted, his hands sore, his heart heavier than ever. Being a single dad wasn't easy, but ever since his wife passed away 3 years ago, every day had been a battle to keep things together for his little boy, Ethan. Life had taught him how to fix engines, but never how to fix loneliness. But that night, everything changed the moment he saw her. A little girl, no more than 6 or 7, standing barefoot by the side of the road, drenched in rain, shivering, clutching a small stuffed rabbit to her chest. Mark hit the brakes immediately, his heart pounding. He stepped out into the rain and knelt down to meet her eyes. "Hey, sweetheart," he said softly, trying not to scare her. "What are you doing out here? Where are your parents?" The girl didn't answer, just stared at him, trembling. Her lips were blue from the cold. Without hesitation, Mark took off his jacket and wrapped it around her tiny frame. "It's okay. You're safe now." He opened the truck door, helped her in, and turned the heater on full blast. She held onto her stuffed bunny like it was her last piece of the world. When he asked her name, she whispered faintly, "Lily." That was all she said. Mark didn't know it yet, but that one word, her name, was about to unravel the biggest mystery of his life. The police station was quiet when he brought Lily in. The officer on duty, a tired-looking man with coffee stains on his shirt, took down the details and said they'd put out a report. But for now, there was nowhere to take her. The local shelter was full due to the storm damage across town. Mark glanced at the little girl again, sitting in the corner, holding her stuffed bunny, eyes wide and afraid. He couldn't just leave her there. "I'll take her," he said finally. "Just for the night. Until someone finds her parents." The officer hesitated, then nodded. "You sure about that?" "Yeah," Mark replied quietly. "I've got a kid her age. I can handle it." That night, Lily slept in Ethan's room. The two children bonded instantly. Ethan shared his blanket and even his favorite toy car. Mark stood by the doorway watching them, something stirring deep in his chest. It was the first time in years the house didn't feel empty. Days passed, and still, no one came for Lily. The police had no leads, no missing child report, no record of her anywhere. It was as if she had appeared out of thin air. But as time went on, Mark began noticing strange things. Lily had a scar on her wrist that looked like an old medical tag had been there. She would wake up crying some nights, calling for "Mommy" in her sleep. And once, when she saw a car on TV, a sleek black limousine, she froze, clutching her bunny so tight her knuckles turned white. Then, one afternoon, when Mark picked Ethan and Lily up from school, a woman was standing near the gate. She looked out of place, elegant, perfectly dressed in a white coat, eyes hidden behind dark sunglasses. When she saw Lily, the sunglasses came off, and tears filled her eyes instantly. "Lily," she whispered. The world seemed to stop. Lily's stuffed bunny fell to the ground as she ran toward the woman. "Mommy," she cried. Mark stood frozen, 1,000 questions in his mind. The woman hugged her daughter tightly, sobbing uncontrollably. The reunion was beautiful, but then, the woman looked up at Mark, and the warmth in her eyes turned to confusion and fear. Later that night, she came to his small home with 2 bodyguards and a sleek black car that didn't belong anywhere near his quiet neighborhood. Her name was Elena Drake, a billionaire CEO, one of the most powerful businesswomen in the country. Her story was unbelievable. Her daughter had been missing for over 6 months. "A kidnapping gone wrong," she said. The police had given up hope. Until now. Mark watched as Lily clung to her mother's arm, her big eyes glancing back at him one last time. "She's safe now," Elena said softly. "And I don't know how to thank you." But Mark wasn't looking for thanks. All he could think about was how quiet his house would be again. How Ethan would ask where Lily went. How strange it felt to lose someone he'd only known for a week. He forced a smile. Just take care of her. Elena hesitated for a moment, her expression unreadable. Then she handed him a card. Please, come by tomorrow. I owe you an explanation. And there's something you need to know. Mark didn't plan to go. But curiosity, and something else, pulled him in. When he arrived at her mansion the next day, it was like stepping into another world. Marble floors, chandeliers, a silence so heavy it felt lonely despite all the luxury. Elena greeted him herself, looking more fragile than before. She led him to a room lined with portraits, her family, her late husband, and photos of Lily from years past. Then, she handed him a small box. Inside was a photo, a baby, wrapped in a hospital blanket. And next to it, a DNA test. Mark stared at the paper. Then looked at her. What is this?" he stammered. Elena's eyes filled with tears. "You need to know the truth, Mark. Lily isn't just my daughter," she paused, her voice trembling. "She's yours too." The room spun. His heart nearly stopped. Elena explained everything. Years ago, before her marriage, she had donated eggs for fertility research under a false name. Her husband had known, but after he died, she discovered one embryo had been used, adopted by a couple who later died in an accident. That couple had been Mark and his late wife. Lily wasn't lost by accident. Fate had brought her back. Tears blurred Mark's eyes as he realized the truth. This little girl he'd rescued wasn't just a stranger. She was his daughter. Elena broke down. "I didn't want to take her from you. But I didn't know. I didn't know she already had a father who loved her." Mark's voice shook. "She has two parents who love her. Maybe she doesn't have to lose either of us." That moment changed everything. Instead of fighting over her, they built something new, two broken souls learning to heal through the little girl who connected them both. Months passed. The kids laughed again, the houses were no longer lonely, and Mark and Elena slowly grew close, not because of wealth or fate, but because they both had the same heartbeat, Lily's happiness. And one quiet evening, as the sunset painted the sky outside, Lily ran between them, giggling as she held both their hands. Mark looked at Elena, who smiled softly, and for the first time in years, he felt whole. Sometimes, family isn't found in blood, it's found in the rain, on a lonely road, when you stop for someone who needs you most. And that's how a single dad, a lost girl, and a billionaire mother discovered that love can heal what even fate once tried to tear apart.